baby.
10 toes down in my EP022s. Young ST hit the T and he blew. Pat came in, disappeared like the moose. Yeah, I'm at the mud, yeah, I'm really the truth. 10 toes down in his Christians, yours. They know me by my real name in the store. Pins and fiends made a killing up.
Hey, it's Kieran, and you are locked in to episode 22 of the Week in the Life series. Today is Monday, and I am in the office, but I've started a little bit later today. Well, I haven't started a little bit later. The recording has started. So it's 1:15. I've just finished some lunch and come back from a coffee with Mr. Ross McKenzie and Kai Gwinnett. If you don't know who those two are, check out the Week in the Life from a couple of weeks ago. You'll see my interview with Ross McKenzie and a few questions about his journey of entrepreneurship, going from a estate agency to SaaS. He started a technical product, which is for the estate agency and home moving industry with Kai. On a great journey, just about to raise some money, and both of them are good people and doing big things. But this is my Week in the Life series, so I'll get back to me. What have I been doing this morning? It's been mostly candidate focused, been sending out messages like this, and this. I send out messages like this to people in the interview process every time I come in the morning. So these people have been successful in their first stage interview. They've been moved through to a technical assessment. And as you'll see, they have until Wednesday, but out of courtesy, I've messaged them to see if they are getting on okay, see if they have any questions, and to see if I can help out in any way. Chances are I can't, but it's the message to let them know that I'm there if they need to. And it turns out a couple of them have already submitted the assessment early. Outside of that, I've been trying to book some final stage interviews. So I've also sent out messages like this. As soon as I come in, knowing that I've got to book the interviews, I'll put the ball in the candidate's court, let them know that there are some times available. Either when can they chat, or can you just pick a time and then we can speak later in the week to go over some interview prep. But why am I telling you this so early on in the video? Well, this episode and every other episode, for a matter of fact, is about educating people about the industry and giving you a perspective of what it's like to be a recruiter, either a recruitment consultant or someone running your own business as well. So these are the things that I get up to on a Monday morning. And of course, it goes without mentioning, uploading more YouTube content every single Monday. Just like this. Enough about this morning, because you are all here for this week. And we've got some very, very big news, which I'm not going to be able to tell you until the end of the episode. But I'll give you a clue. This is our last Week in the Life series in this office. Sad times. We've come a long way since being in this office. And there's some big changes happening next week. But you'll have to stick around to the end of the video to find out why. But what's going to happen in between now and the end of the video? Well, this afternoon, I have a very, very important meeting. This is with an ex-client who is now joined a new business and is one of their founding executives. I believe the meeting is going to be about scaling their business and how we might be able to play a part. So I'm going to be able to get some content of that. We also have our final Calculated Risk podcast. That is tomorrow at 12. We are interviewing Amy Bateman. And when I say final Calculated Risk podcast, final of season 1. We're going to be starting season 2. We've already got a couple of guests lined up, but that's not going to be till later in the year, maybe early 2026. I've then got Mr. Big Manny Nagy coming down on Wednesday to spend a couple of hours with me and the team in the office. I've got 2 lunches, one in pasture, one with a client, and we've got a video testimonial as well. And to top it all off, we are expecting 3 to 4 offers this week. So this could be an ideal week for anyone to watch who wants to understand more about the recruitment industry. It doesn't matter if you're experienced, you might be able to pick up a thing or two. It's probably great if you have no experience or you're new to the industry, because you can see exactly what we do and at what stage and how we communicate with people. And the main goal is to, number 1, have fun. Number 2, to show anyone watching a thing or two about the industry to hopefully change your perspective. There's going to be lots of activity outside of the office this week, so it should be a visual one. Make sure you stick around to the end to find out what's happening next week. Nice to finally meet you, by the way. I think we over-delivered on pretty much every position we had. So hopefully that's what's said about our service. Yeah, I agree. I like the team. I just know it's been very challenging to raise the right investment. I just hope they pull through, raise this next crowdfund and continue to grow. I've got some skin in the game, as they say. Well, let's talk about current affairs. This looks a very interesting company. I've looked at the raise, I've looked at what they're building. It sounds quite cool. Tell me, just give me an idea of what's going on. Super curious. Well, I don't think I've ever met anyone that has exited for that amount of money. I've heard of people, but you know, when you meet someone like this, what's the I say secret, but what's different to them about anyone else? I could sum that up with, towards the end, resilient, you sounded like. Just keep going, keep moving forward day by day, just turn up, keep going. Yeah, which is half the battle. Like, it's great for, from 2 perspectives, right? So from a recruitment perspective and a technical perspective, the companies in London, if they hire in London for engineers, you're paying 80, 100K. If you hire from the Southwest, engineers in South Wales, for example, you might pay 50 to 70,000 for someone who's probably equal output ability. And I guess the same for recruitment. The agencies in London, I'm sure some of them do a great job. I'm sure most of them do a great job. But they're charging 20, 30% fees. And how we are able to win work is we're still very fair on fees, but we're not coming super low. But, you know, we're more realistic. I care very deeply about what I do. And if I can go on a journey with a company, and some of the video testimonials, I don't know if you've seen them actually, will probably give you an idea of what we do. You know, we go on the journey with them and make 5, 10, 15 hires sometimes. It's not the 1, 2 for 20, 30,000 pound fee. It's the longevity for us, which is really important. As the founder myself, well, I'll be very surprised if that person come through a LinkedIn advert. But I completely agree it's the right thing to do. You never know. We've worked with people, we speak to people, and, you know, some people have success. A great idea to do it. If you can save it and you attract the right people, number one, you know, your business brand is working and it's in front of the right people. Secondly, you've saved a bit of money as well. If it does in 2 to 3 weeks, we can pick up the chat. I can help with salary expectations, benchmarking, background on the person as well. So yeah, if and when the time's right, sure. And it's worth mentioning, I think I sent you this document. So we've introduced something recently which has been taken up by 2 companies. And it's ideally for, well, we only work with smaller stage companies, ideally high growth startups. But there's one that we were introduced to from our VC partner here down in South Wales. So the VC fund in South Wales. The company's actually based in London. So they took us up on our fractional model, which is essentially a monthly retainer, paid anywhere between like £2,500 up to 10,000. 10,000 sounds quite a lot, but eventually, essentially that would be for maybe 20 to 25,000 pound worth of hires. Savings about 30 to 40% on the typical model. And we've made 12 hires with them since the beginning of the year. So that's what, 2 hires a month. Even better, on Friday, I'm recording a video testimonial with this founder in person. So once that's uploaded, which will be about a week after that, I'll share that with you. And he'll talk about the speed, the attention to detail on multiple hires a month on this new model as well. So what in the new year, that could be very interesting to save a bit more money, but also reward each other for a partnership model as well. Sounds good. So just in terms of next steps, I will, just in the background, I'll do my searches. I'm a very curious guy, so I'll see who's about, I'll see what the market's like for this senior salesperson, but you won't hear from me for 2 to 3 weeks. Will I then expect an update from you second week of October, either for yes or no? Shall I wait for you? I really appreciate that. Knowing how busy we're both going to be, do you want to put 15 minutes in the diary now? I find it valuable helping outside of just, hey, give me an invoice, I'll find you someone. So if there's any, like, you know, you need to be at market mapping, a bit of strategy, and we did like maybe look at the competition. Like if you got any ideas, fire them across. I'm like, the more proactive I can be, the better I perform as well. I appreciate you thinking of me as well. It means a lot, man. So we'll catch up in a couple of weeks. See ya. That's it. That's the meeting done for today with the CFO of a new blockchain DeFi startup. They've raised $2.5 million. They're going to be looking at bringing some of the external resource in-house. The first is a sales position. I'm not going to go into too much detail on the type, but there should be 3 hires this year. And hopefully you heard me pitch my new fractional model where we can help companies save money, but also develop a partnership with us so we can go on a journey with them. 3-month contracts, sometimes goes up to 6 months as well. And whilst it's a little bit less and it's not paid per fee hire, we still get a lump sum up front and they get to save money, have a partner, and trust someone who is also bought into their journey. I'm wrapping up for today. I did smash an hour and a half of sales earlier. Here is the current state of sales on a Monday, over 100 dials, 10 connects, 3 callbacks, 2 very good calls, 2 wrong numbers, and 5 not interested. I was going to say something else then. Today is a very big day, and I'll tell you why. It's Tuesday. I'm on the way to Newport for the last time because this is the final episode of the Calculated Risk podcast, Season 1. Season 2 is already in the works. Them episodes are going to be released early into 2026. I'd like to think it's going to be bigger, better and bolder, but we've had some fantastic guests this season, so it's going to be hard to beat. I can't actually believe we got this far. I went to South Africa in December and I come back and decided video content was going to be a focus of mine this year, try and build some digital assets to help with brand awareness. And the podcast was the easiest and the biggest ROI. So to start, I just needed money. The studio to record was all done. The finance was fine and still is fine. And the ROI was great in terms of brand awareness. I get to leverage other people's networks. Now, I also get to increase my knowledge by speaking to some fantastic people. And 25 episodes in 6 or 7 months, and I couldn't be happier. So today's the last one. We're meeting Amy Bateman. As I've mentioned, she's an exited founder and now an executive coach who helps empower women leaders to reconnect with who they are and truly find out what they want from their career. So today's going to be a bit of an emotional one. If you haven't watched any of our podcasts, but you watch this on a regular basis, go check it out. It's on the channel. It's called the Calculated Risk Podcast. We've interviewed some fantastic people in South Wales. For such a small country, we have some incredible entrepreneurs, leaders, and business owners, both male and female, some of whom are inspiring, some of whom have exited, and some of whom are still building currently. Of course, on my final drive over to Newport, I have my trusty new tonic. I got these shipped in yesterday. You'll notice that this is the white flavor rather than the blue, and this is the tropical ice. This is the best flavor, by the way. If anyone's going to get any, just use this discount. No, I'm joking. Not yet. But tropical ice is the flavor to go for. I've mentioned a couple times that when I'm driving over to Newport, I now use this time to turn off the radio. There's no audio at all. It's just me practicing my intro for the podcast, because they're very, very difficult to do on a whim, especially when someone's sat in front of you. So before I turn off the camera, I thought I'd give you a little snippet. I've done 2 or 3 runs before turning this on. The rest of the 15 minutes is going to be practicing that again. So hopefully this goes well. Otherwise, this is going to be a nightmare. Well, however it goes, I'm going to keep it in. So, hey, Kieran here, and welcome back to the Calculated Risk Podcast. Before I introduce today's guest, we have an announcement. And that is, today is the final episode of Season 1. But don't worry, Season 2 is already in the works, and those episodes are going to be released early into 2026. But today's guest is Amy Bateman. She's an exited founder and executive coach who now focuses on empowering women leaders to reconnect to who they are and truly find out what they want from their career. Thanks for joining me on the podcast, Amy. Bish bash.
Bash! I had reasonable doubt as my intro. We swing around with illmatic, say you involved. Heard they ran off on the plug by the 10th load. All the stress why I need my money tenfold.
Good to go? Right, do you want me to take your bag? I'll put it in the corner.
Suits you.
This is Ol, by the way. He's the man in charge.
How you doing?
Take a seat.
Yeah. Oh, this is fab. Nice
It's lovely.
To see it in real life.
Yeah.
I've seen it on YouTube so many times.
Do you know, I only watched one of my first podcasts back on the weekend. I don't know.
Really?
It's very difficult to watch yourself
I
back.
don't watch
Yeah.
my training courses. I used to edit them, so I used to have to watch them. But then
It's tough, isn't it?
when we had enough money to outsource the editing.
Get it gone.
Yeah. It's like I don't have to. It's my voice more than anything.
Yeah. And I just can't believe how different it looks. You know, it looks really compact in here, and you come in, it's actually really big lights everywhere. So I am exactly 17 minutes out from a very important meeting. Today, I'm meeting a CEO of a US fintech startup. We've actually met 5 times. The 4 times previously have all been online, building a relationship, getting to know him. They've been getting to know us. But a lot of their business strategy is focused on acquisitions of other smaller businesses. So they will buy a business, transfer over the existing employee base. They will keep all the people that they can. Sometimes there's duplicates, so there might be some redundancies as well, which naturally happens, and there's a lot of churn with mergers and acquisitions. But today, or yesterday, finally, we've got a vacancy. So we shared the job description. Today, we've set up a call, and we're going to be talking about how we might be able to help, the expectations of the role, and see if we get terms of business signed, because we haven't done that yet. So quite obviously, I'm going to go in at a very fair rate for the US, and hopefully this is some new business. And when it's the first opportunity with a client, I'm so motivated to do well, because that will always pay off in the back end. So let's see how it goes. Before I join this call, I'm going to very quickly give you a rundown of the last 24 hours, because I've been doing a lot, but not getting much content. Yesterday, after a very good podcast with Amy, I went straight to lunch with Mark at a place called Coffee Co down the bay, talking about the strategy for the next couple of weeks, because we've got some very big changes. Lots of messages coming in here. Today, I had Manny Nagy down from Bilth, Wales. We spent an hour and a half, got a coffee, got some lunch, and the conversation was just so good. There was no content available to get. That took up an hour and a half this morning. I've then sold my car. I had to sell my Range Rover very, very sadly because of the changes coming up. And now I've got this meeting. I've been out of the office for about 4 or 5 hours. So that's my pedantic update of the last 24 hours. It's been very productive. In between all that, I've had to do interview arrangements, interview feedback as well, chase up some technical assessments. But that's the part of the position we love. We're never busy. We're always productive. But it's been a bit of full-on 24 hours. So hopefully we can seal the deal with this Wednesday afternoon meeting, bring on a brand new US client who are scaling, to say the least. Wish me luck. I'm very good today. I'm very good. I've been out in the office most of the day and had a Nando's. So today's been a good day. Yeah. What about you? Wow. Lots of rain though, or did you avoid that? Count yourself lucky. Yeah. What's been going on since we last met? Any more acquisitions from a professional perspective? And what about personal as well? Is that going well against target? How many do you have to do per quarter? So you would pass over those responsibilities. So I really appreciate you reaching out to me for this position, first and foremost. Thanks. Also appreciate the introduction to your friend. I spent 10-15 minutes with him, so completely west to what we do, but he was a great guy. I gave him some advice. Made 2 introductions to him that he could make connection with, and I messaged them to say he'll be in contact. And they work in that space, so hopefully that will help. So that was good. Give me an idea, how's this role come about? Because I know a lot of the focus is on acquisitions, right? You take over existing employees, and if there's doubles, you might make some redundancies, or how it works. But why is this single hire come about? Proactive rather than reactive. Yeah, spot the fire before it's a fire. Yeah, I noticed this through the job description. It's a great blend of like pre-sales support through the demo, client success and account management, but then also like a domain expert as well. I was like, okay, I get it. I can see how this would work. By the sounds of it though, for now, the client success and hypercare is a little bit more important than the demos, just because of how much is going on. Would that be fair to say? And to go one layer more than that, each demo, whilst it's the same, it also has its own differences as well, because each person is buying for their own reason. And if you talk to someone about X, but they're really interested in Y, you can spend 20 minutes talking about X, and then we weren't interested in that. So there's a whole deeper layer, and I know how complex they are, because when I get demos against me, when I've done demos before, you have to really understand the customer. Okay, so the day job's hypercare, and lots of attention to detail with managing client expectations. How many clients would they have to do this? Because that's going to be, if they're doing 1 demo a month, this is going to be a lot of focus on post-sale and implementation care. How many would they manage? So there's some autonomy in the role, it sounds like, for them to be set in the standard, which is good. I'm trying to work out, how will you in the business measure success for this person? Because there's so many touch points and there's 2 different roles. Like how are they going to know if they're doing well after 3 or 6 months? Yeah, we implemented an NPS 3 months ago. Fortunately, we've had a fair amount come back. But we do put, I say pressure. We've been consistent with our messaging. It's very big for us. Candidates more so than the clients. But I think you'll probably agree that people are not always inclined to give positive or share their positive experience. It's just like, it was great, I'm on something else now. But they'll always share the difficult ones or the challenging ones. And that's what we found, they're quite happy to do it if there's a hiccup anywhere. It's great for us because we get to change that moving forward. But yeah, getting people, if you give someone a 10-10 experience, they're very unlikely to go out of their way to share it because they've just moved on. Okay, got you. So the success of the demo would be measured on, getting past that part of the process. Has the demo gone well? And then it might drop off after, but the demo's gone well. Client success is essentially to be confirmed, really, because you could implement some things that could be measured, but ultimately it's NPS. In the most ideal scenario, tell me who this person would be in terms of what they've been doing, what company are they coming from, company size. Just tell me the most perfect person, and I can work back from there. Got you. So for the gold standard, probably right to assume, even if there was someone who might be open to doing a bit more than what they're currently doing, if the competitors are bigger, they're probably going to be on a higher base salary, I would imagine. I'm just assuming here, the personality and culture is just as important as this side. We do need someone who's, again, passionate, curious, and willing to learn, and then, definitely experienced client-facing. They have to have had a client-facing experience before. But then would you consider someone who's been, in a fantastic account management, client success role in a space that we're looking at, but hasn't done demos? Are you open to training on that? Or do we need someone who's done, we have to have someone who's done both? A lot of the work that goes into our search is focused just on that side as well as the technical side. The technical side's not too difficult. I think I mentioned before, you can match up things on CVs and you can see that, but it's trying to understand if someone will go the extra mile, if they're willing to learn, if they are learning outside of work. These things are very, very important. And I thought I'd probably speak for us both here, because I've been recruiting for my business recently. If you can find someone who's maybe not technically the best, let's say 70%, but is up there on 100% for attitude, willingness to learn, and attention to detail, you'd look at that person just as strong as someone who's 100% technically, but is quite comfortable, doesn't want to learn. And these are the nuances in a search like this, where you got to be open. Cool. And I've been doing some competition analysis this morning and yesterday, so I've got a few to go after. But like, if there was one or two companies, I'm not asking you to do my job for me. I've been doing a lot in the background. Like, is there anyone where you're like, we'd love someone from that company, we know they do what we do, we can offer them something good? Any one or two companies off the top of my head? How urgent is this hire? Like, when do we ideally want someone to start? If I was able to get a short list by Tuesday afternoon of 3 people, speak to 10, shortlist down that to the best 5, and then select the very best 3. First time working together, I've got loads of information that I send them. I've got some software where we build in like interview preparation. I gather interview feedback. I check in before every interview. If you want, I send you emails to confirm and share feedback. For some people, that's too many emails, but we can do as much or as little as you want. But essentially everything outside of you turning up for the interview is us. It's also worth mentioning one of our latest hires is Skylar, sat over there right now. So she works in customer success. Huge investment for us. So everything post offer accepted, I will share you with Skylar, and then she'll be checking in to make sure you had a good experience with us. So NPS, we won't be getting a video testimonial, don't worry. And then she also keeps in touch with the candidate, not just up until they start, but also onboarding as well. 1 month, 2 months, and 3 months before we hand off, because otherwise it's just too much communication for them. I know we spoke about terms before, way back when, and it's exactly what we spoke about. For single individual hires, we really need to work at what we're expected to work at across the board, which is 20% per hire. Once there's multiple hires, once there's a bit more of a relationship, sure, that's negotiable. But for a single one-off hire, which is going to take quite a bit of work, that's where we're at. I'll re-forward this to you. If you've got any questions on terms, fine, ask. I've highlighted the clause which are important to you. I think if there's one way to sum up my, actually, I'll just send a couple of NPSs over. We've had 2 from clients saying that I work very fast, sometimes faster than people expect. But that's not because I'm pushing for my own personal gain. It's, a lot changes in a couple of days of a candidate. So a week or so without any feedback, not only does it affect them and their relationship with the business, but it also means we could lose out. So like, I will push if I need to, but if you need me to hold back, then let me know. But yeah, speed is very important. All right, sounds good. Final question, I've got to ask this one. If there was someone who was gold standard, 10-10, could really add value from day one, can you get any higher on the budget, or are we fixed? It's a hypothetical, right? But if this person does come about, I won't say no to them. I'll say, look, let me just send you the profile. This person's at 100, for example. Make your decision. If not, here's the best at 80-90 mark. Once again, I really, really appreciate it. I'll re-forward these terms, and the next time you'll hear from me is Tuesday afternoon. My Tuesday afternoon, so that's your Tuesday morning. Well, like I said, you probably won't hear from me between now and Tuesday, but Tuesday's the deadline. I never miss a deadline.
I thank God for the plug, Susan dripping. Me and bro in the M-way doing mileage, dripping missing. Now she ain't calling you, rude boy, it's me that she missing. Look a flat, now I'm missing.
So today has been very interesting. I've not been speaking about what's happening much, but over the next 24 to 48 hours, it's going to be rather obvious. So I might as well start talking about it, albeit loosely. So today we actually got rid of our office. We've been there for a year, almost to the date. I've sold everything, and we are going to be working from home for the next 48 hours because we've got quite a big update next week, which you'll see and hear all about at the end of this episode and on next week's episode. But today we got the call that we've been waiting for about 10 days. One of the difficult things about working with VC-backed startups is there are so many moving parts and so many people involved in decisions that things don't move as quickly as they could do if it wasn't a company that's just taken on investment, because essentially the founder pulls the trigger. But we got the call. That call said there is 4 offers confirmed in writing, ready to go. So I'm sat here on a sunny afternoon, maybe for the first time that I can remember, and I'm going to try and close 4 offers in a row. To get 2 offers in a day is class. 3, unheard of, but 4 and 4 accepts. Well, we're going to see how this plays out. Fingers crossed. Wish me some good luck, please. Hello, it's Kieran. I'm very good, thank you. How are you? Well, congratulations on your offer. It's all official now. So I just want to say thanks for your patience. and I knew we'd get here. So how do you feel? I bet. Yeah, that is never easy. Well, hopefully this good news can make things a little bit better for you. So we have the increase in the monthly rate as well. I managed to get a little bit more, so 3,500 monthly with everything else. My job is to keep you happy and also keep them happy. So I always try to get a little bit higher when I can, and they were open to it. Yeah, I think, to be honest, your interview went very well. So because it went well, I was able to kind of suggest it needs to be a little bit higher. Because you're available immediately, if it works for you, they'd like you to start as soon as October the 1st, which is on Wednesday next week. Okay, cool. So just so you know, what happens now is I will share all your details with the company, and they will reach out to you directly with the contract, and then they will also let you know what you need to do on your first day and the setup expectations. If you have any questions, I can help out, but they will be able to help out quicker if you want to ask them directly as well, because essentially you'll be part of their business now. So if you've got anything, you can ask them straight away. They will send the contract probably to this, maybe this afternoon or first thing tomorrow. They will send you the official contract. Me and you will still speak. I will call you next week to make sure everything is good and the contract is good. And I will call you once you have started to make sure everything is going like we expect. Does that sound okay? That's okay, no problem. I really, really appreciate it. I'm glad we got there in the end, so thank you very much. Amazing news. They will do everything for you now. They're a very good team. No problem. I will speak to you. If I don't speak to you tomorrow, I will speak to you next week, okay? Thank you, mate. Hello, how are you? I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you for your patience the last week. I thought I had got back to you, so I'm sorry that I didn't send you the message when I was supposed to. I have even better news, and they would like to make you the offer. And they're actually happy to offer you the £3,500 a month for 12 months and the benefits package on top as well. How do you feel about that? Good, yeah. So not only is it the £3,500, it's also the annual bonus. They have the learning budget, so you can spend that on learning tools. They will also pay for your travel to the UK twice for the year. And you're going to get to work on some pretty exciting stuff. You know, we're talking some of the latest AI, large language models. It's not just the RPA stuff. You're going to be developing at a faster rate than you would anywhere else because they're a fast-growing startup, you know. Well, I appreciate that, man. It's a team effort, so I appreciate your kind words. Just in terms of like the start date, what is your notice period? Cool. So we're going to be looking at, so if it works for you, we can do the start date of the 1st of November. But if you want to hand your notice in sooner and start sooner, we can do that as well. I just need to know pretty quickly. So like, you know, if you can find out this afternoon or tomorrow, because what we need to do, we need to put the official start date on the contract that we're going to send you. Okay, cool. So we ideally we want to start on the Monday. So can we do the Monday after? You have a few more days off and we start on the 27th. Just so you know, this is where it gets, you know, all the paperwork comes out. So I will introduce you to the legal team and they will send you your contracts. Take a read, make sure all the benefits package and the money is what we want. And then me and you will still keep in contact, you know, for the next 4 or 5 weeks before you go on holiday and before you start. And then we will make sure that you get onboarded right and everything is going well. Does that sound like a plan? No problem, man. You will have the contract tomorrow. And then if you need anything, please give me a call. You know, I'll help you out straight away. And I just want to say thanks for your patience. It took a little bit longer than expected, but we got there. Great to work with you, mate. I'll speak to you very soon. It's 2 out of 2. Hello, it's Kieran. I'm very good. I'm very good. Can you speak for a few minutes? You're a busy man. You're always hustling. Well, that's good news. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Well, I'm calling with good news as well. And, you know, thank you for your patience. I know it took a little bit longer. There's lots of people involved in these decisions. But the good news is they want to make you the offer. So well done. And the better news is I was able to increase it for you. And on top of that, there is the annual bonus. There is paid travel to the UK. There is a holiday pay. So essentially you get the benefits of a contract, but you also get the benefits of a permanent position as well. So I think it's the best of both worlds. And you're going to be working on some of the most exciting tech there is. How do you feel? Yeah, good stuff. Well done. Well, this is it's going to be a great opportunity for you. There's no doubt about that. It's going to be hard work. You know, let's not ignore that. It's going to be very hard work, but it should be life-changing. It really should. Well, just to let you know, I'm going to hand over to the team now, so they will send you the contract probably tomorrow. In terms of a start date, when are you available to start? We have one person starting on the 1st of October, which is very soon. And the other person is going to be starting on the 20th of October. So around 4 weeks, 5 weeks away. Let's do that. Okay, man. Well, look, great news. I really appreciate your patience, and we got there in the end. And, this is going to be a great opportunity for you and the other people as well. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I really, really do. We will still speak, by the way. We will still speak for the next few weeks until you start. So, I'll keep in contact, but I appreciate the kind words, and I will speak to you next week. See you, mate. Bye-bye. How you doing? Well, I appreciate your patience over the last few days. It's taken a little bit longer than expected. Normally, the turnaround time is pretty quick. As I said, it was all going in the right direction. We got good news, and they want to make you the offer. That's exactly what we were hoping for at the 65k mark, with clear, detailed progression right through from FD to CFO, with the bonus, with the share option scheme as well, and the other benefits on top. So that's official in writing now. How do you feel? Yeah, good stuff, man. Well, like, the opportunities are endless here, depending on how well and how good of a start you get off to it. It could be a very quick jump up to the next position once you make your role redundant for all the automation. But there's just so much opportunity here for you. So I'm glad we finally got there. Yeah, I've got an offer letter which I will send out. Well, I'm expecting the offer letter. They said before 5 p.m, so that should be with me in the next sort of half hour, I hope. But then they'll send it to you via e-sign. You need to sign that. And then just in terms of next steps, we need a start date as well. Yeah, sooner the better, really, I think, for them. They spoke verbally about the 1st of November, but that was just assuming that you'll be able to get your notice down to 1 month. But if you can leave any sooner, the position is open. So yeah, we can get you in as soon as possible. Sounds good. You're going to celebrate in any way? Yeah, good stuff. Well, it's well deserved. I'm excited for you. But by the way, me and you, and we've got someone in our customer success team. We'll still keep in contact with you throughout the notice period and through to the onboarding. We want to make sure everything goes well. Appreciate your patience. Speak soon. Well done. And that's it. 4 out of 4. How many times in recruitment do you get 2 offers in a day, 3 offers in a day, but 4 offers in a single day, all accepted in about 25 minutes? It doesn't get much better than that for an afternoon. It's the end of the week already, and I'm doing one of my favorite things with one of my favorite people over there, Mr. Joe Drew. We're doing our very last in-person video testimonial. Well, I say very last, it's our last one for a few months, I think. So we're here at Tramshire Tech. Shout out Tramshire Tech, by the way. I tried to book something online, and typically I left it last minute. Everything was booked, but one of my contacts here managed to get us this pretty good setup in here. What do you reckon, Joe?
Yeah, it's really nice.
10-10 setup at last minute. So if you're looking for any meeting rooms, even office space, Tramshire Tech is the place to be, especially if you're in the tech startup ecosystem. Today, we're going to get 3 testimonials if we're lucky. Well, we've got 2 booked in, one with a CEO and founder, one with a software engineer, and we're trying to get someone else on as well. But not everyone is happy to get on screen. But these are going to be out in a couple of weeks, and then we're going to be doing some more video testimonials online, and the in-person ones will come back sometime in the near future.
I don't do the late night text, ask my ex. I'm just trying to double these checks. They're saying Burner's up next. I'm still with the guys, still trying to pebble these Zeds. If I robbed one of your guys, I'll say it was I. True, say I done it with chess. Bro saying stick to the stew, that's fire in the booth. And I ain't even breaking no sweat. Yo, look, I ain't even taking no less. Count this stack to the nearest pence. Come to the block, that's drillers and trappers. Ain't no one here that's taking your friend.
This week has been nothing short of eventful, hence why I'm wrapping this up on a Saturday afternoon again. From Manny coming down from Bilth Wells to spend a couple of hours with us, to my last meeting with Mark. We had our final podcast with Amy Bateman this week too. 4 offers that were accepted, 4 in a week. We had 2 video testimonials. We were actually supposed to go to Product Tank number 50. I pre-booked Joe for that, which was cancelled and rearranged. So we're actually going to miss that now, sadly. We also stepped foot in our office for the last time because we've now got rid of that. And the most sad of them all, this is the last time I will ever see this view, and anyone who's been watching these vlogs will see this view too. So if you've been watching up until now, thank you very much. We really appreciate the support. And if you're subscribed, great. But if you're not, you probably should, because the quality of the content over the next month is going to increase drastically. And if you tune into next week's episode, you'll see exactly what I mean. So like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you there.
Run through 5, 1, know what I expected this week. I'm alive, 1, that's why I expected this week.